Well, that went about how you'd think it would go today, except in a different way. But even though it felt a little different and a little weird, I mean, the Chicago Bears actually scored more than 20 points on offense. Make no mistake about it. You saw plenty of what you would recognize, know, and love to loathe. Bears football! Bears football! A little bit of bear weather for Bears football! Holy Christ. You want to know why that felt like Bears football today? Because I know it probably doesn't feel quite the same for some of you because you say, hey, the offense actually scored over 20 points. Like, that's actually allowed. In the state of Illinois, that's allowed in the National Football League. There's nothing in the charter or the bylaws that says you can't do that. Well, lo and behold, what do you fucking know? You can. It's allowed. It's a nice feeling. You might want to do it more. And then someday, if you want to really get ballsy, maybe you try to score 24 points. Maybe 27. And if you want to get nuts, let's get nuts. Maybe, just someday, baby, they can score over 30 points in one game. One game. Wow, could you imagine? Leave it to the Bears in a game where they don't have Matt Nagy due to COVID. So they've got the biggest single problem with their team out of the way. He's not involved. He's not making any of the decisions on game day. Like, the opportunity is there where you could actually win. Because, yeah, you suck, but so do the fucking 49ers. Let's not get it twisted here. What are you going to do? Lose to Jimmy Garbage Pail? In this hodgepodge 49ers offense and 49ers defense? Well, Bears football says yes. Of course you're going to. Even when you can certainly say that this was probably Justin Fields' best start of the season, even though he had over 100 yards rushing in the game, because what do you know when you take a really good athlete and allow him to do really good athletic things and even design some of your offense around that? And oh my God, can you imagine designing some runs specifically for your athletic young quarterback? Good things can fucking happen. It's amazing, isn't it? You take that effort and blow it. That's Bears football! Allowing Jimmy Garoppolo, Jimmy Garbage Pail, to come in with this 49ers offense and drop 33 points on you today. And again, it could have been even more. You've got missed kicks to factor in and everything. That's Bears football! To have a great start, or a good start, let's say, for your young quarterback at Justin Fields, and find a way to totally screw the pooch on it and not support him and not reinforce him and be able to say, hey, the team's got your back, except they totally fucking don't. That's Bears football! Of course, in a game where the defense should have been able to play well, because you're missing Khalil Mack and Eddie Jackson goes out early with the injury, now all of a sudden you're so depleted that you can't play. Now, that's bullshit. This Desai defense fucking sucks. Anybody that's sitting there trying to defend this asshole and this goddamn unit needs to kick themselves in the cunt/cock because you're a fucking idiot and should not be allowed to reproduce. Bears football! They gave up 33 goddamn points to Jimmy Garbage Pail in this depleted 49ers offense! Oh, you might want to defend Deebo Samuel. It's 3rd and 19. They're going to throw a swing pass. Let's let him run 83 yards down the fucking field! Bears football! That was pain. Like, you actually watched a game where the 49ers won 33-22, and even though you had highlights, and even though you had moments from Justin Fields for sure, it's still a boring game. Still a boring-ass game. Bears football. Losing at home. Bears football. And even with all the talk about Justin Fields and his development, he still threw for a whopping 175 yards through the air. Bears football! Like, we could sit there and rant and rave about this performance today, and you should. This is merited. It's justified. But the reality is, it doesn't fucking matter. And if anything, it's good. Because the only real disastrous result that would have come out of today's game at Soldier Field would have been the Chicago Bears winning this son of a bitch, because then they would have went to 4-4, and then there would have been some type of delusions of grandeur that they could still get to the 7th seed in the playoffs, because of course we're talking about the mediocrity of the McCaskey way. Why would you want to be trying to win fucking Super Bowls? You're trying to get backdoor trips to the fucking playoffs so you get embarrassed in front of the whole country and world in the goddamn wild card round. Bears football! So the best thing that happened was this team looked coherent without Matt Nagy, which of course begs the big fucking question. Now at 3-5, yet again we have to ask, yet again, why in the fuck does Matt Nagy still have his job? Yet again, and yet again, nothing will happen. Because why? Because that's what the Bears fucking do. If you haven't figured this out by now, the bullshit business that they do, then I don't know where the hell you've been the past couple of decades. This is exactly the Bears' MO. But the worst thing that would have happened was the Bears winning today. Now, if they happened to do that because Justin Fields threw for like 350 or 400 yards and 3 touchdowns and he was just a dynamic special player, then so be it. Then it's like, you know what? That's what matters. Because at the end of the day, that is what matters. You've had Bears fans throughout the season try to make excuses or defenses for this fucking Desai defense. Stop doing that. They fucking suck. No, they haven't sucked as much as the offense, but just because they haven't sucked as much as the offense doesn't mean that they don't still suck. Stop defending Sean Desai when he doesn't fucking deserve it. Stop making excuses for this defense and trying to make them out to be better than they are. There is no reason for you to come back in the comments and bitch about anything or try to make any points because you have no goddamn points! They just gave up 33 points to goddamn Jimmy Garbage Pail and the 49ers. What the fuck are you trying to do? Bears football! Except to defend the mediocrity. Oh boy, tell you. But this is the best thing that could happen. This Bears team doesn't need to win any more games. Now, of course, they don't have the first round pick next year, so it's not like you're tanking. But the point is, they need to lose so much that it eliminates all doubt. Because the best thing for Justin Fields' development, the best thing for Justin Fields' future, the best thing for the Chicago Bears' future as an organization is to have the excuse to get the Matt Nagy's of the world the fuck out of town. And take Ryan Pace and fucking Ted Phillips fucking with you. I still don't know why there are people that defend Pretty Boy Pace. The fuck is wrong with you? 0 playoff wins in 6+ seasons. You're not going to have a playoff win this year. What the fuck is so redeeming about this asshole? Oh, he draft some nice guys in the lower rounds. And what's your fucking point? What does it mean? Where are the results, assholes? There aren't any. So stop it. The only thing that matters this year is the development of Justin Fields. That's what it's been since the moment they drafted him. Starting Andy Dalton day one was fucking stupid. And once it became obvious that Justin Fields was going to be the starter, Matt Nagy should have been fired then. Ryan Pace should have been fired then. Phillips should have been fired then. But of course nothing happened because the Bears don't fucking care. And what's so sad about it is the way Justin Fields has done so far this year. Like, people are talking about that he looked great and it was some phenomenal performance. He was okay. He was solid. He wasn't superstar. The touchdown run where the play call went to shit and he just had to fucking make something happen himself. That's the special play. Unfortunately, it came as a runner, not a thrower. But that's the special play. That's that special thing that some guys have and some guys don't. And Justin Fields has that. He has that ability. So if you're looking for something that says that Fields can be the guy and give you hope and confidence in the future, it was a play like that. Because even when everything else broke down around him, he made something big happen. Even the touchdown throw when he was rolling out and he hit Jesse James. Like, it was off balance, his mechanics were terrible, and he still got it into a good spot. Big-time players make big-time plays. He has plenty of other plays that he misses. But that's what I'm trying to say. Like, the bar is so low here that he throws for 175 yards, and people are talking about he's like the second coming of Jesus fucking Christ. Let's pump the brakes here a little bit. But it was an encouraging development today. It absolutely was. Imagine structuring your offense around a good athlete who could do good things with his feet and do good things even as a thrower on the move. It almost seems like it's a really good fucking idea and you should incorporate that the rest of the season. So yeah, there is a positive and the negative. And in fact, there's several positives. The biggest positive of it all should be, though, is this is a clear indication to the Chicago Bears that any delusions of grandeur that they had, any thoughts or beliefs that they had, that this team was in any way, shape, or form, any type of contender for a playoff spot this year, that's over. Let the fire sale fucking begin. Strip out everything if you need to. Allen Robinson, his whole whopping 3 catches for, 21 yards? Oh, they won't miss him, so of course you'll trade him. You won't get jack shit back for him because you ruined his goddamn trade value. Like, who else? David Montgomery, if he's back healthy. Like, trade him. If not, trade him in the offseason. Why? Because Khalil Herbert's just fine. No reason to give David Montgomery big money in the future. Why? For what? I know Khalil Mack might be out a few weeks, so that sucks, but if you can find a way, get rid of him. Akeem Hicks, goodbye. Eddie Jackson, if you find any dumb dicks stupid enough to take him, get rid of them. Trade away every commodity you possibly can. The problem, of course, is we're talking about the Bears, so the commodities that they do have that other teams might want has such an onerous salary situation that they won't want to trade for them. The epitome of fucking mid. Like, yes, it was a little embarrassing to watch Jimmy G going off on the Bears today. Like, that's sad. That's pathetic. And we can't excuse or overlook that. Wins and losses for the Bears should not matter this year. That's true. But you also shouldn't be letting this quarterback, this bum-ass Garoppolo, with this bum-ass 49ers offense come in and score 30 points. And yet that's exactly what they did. So credit to them. And fuck this Bears defense. You're the unit that has so much invested in you. Because you have 1 or 2 players, you all of a sudden can't play worth a shit? Fuck that excuse. Next man up, bitches. You gave up 33 points to the goddamn 49ers. When you're getting the best offensive performance you've gotten from the offensive side of the ball in weeks, arguably, beyond question, probably Justin Fields' single best performance overall of the season, and you squander it and piss it down your fucking legs. Like, imagine that, 3rd and 19, 3rd and 20, and you let Deebo Samuel on a screen pass run for 83 yards. Like, that's the moment that you knew this was a wrap. And the crazy thing about it is you watch early on in the game, and you're like, man, the Bears are just one step better. They're one step ahead of the 49ers. The 49ers are never going to catch up. And then all of a sudden you got to the third quarter, and it got to butthole clenching time a little bit. You realize, oh, fuck. Even though the Bears are leading, this is over. And you can feel it. You can sense it. You knew it was coming. And when you've got like Cairo Santos, who's made 37 consecutive field goals, is missing a damn extra point, you know it's just not going to be your day. So stop making excuses or stop trying to defend this Desai defense. They don't deserve it. And if you didn't figure that out after watching today's game, like, you're even more idiotic and dumb than the typical Bears fan. Probably got your brains full of stromboli and goddamn Polish sausage and, oh, Pizzeria Uno deep dish pizza. That bullshit sucks. Just like this Bears team sucks. Just like this front office sucks. Just like that defense absolutely fucking sucked today. Like, this loss was 100% on the defense. You can say, well, the offense could have scored more. Hey, for this goddamn team in the standard, the low bar they've set, they put up 22. Should have been enough against a middling to below mid offense in the 49ers. And of course, it fucking wasn't. Stop celebrating Sean Desai like he's the second coming of anything. He's in over his fucking head, and it showed again today. Stop making excuses for this defense. They are one of the most overrated units in the goddamn league. And they got exposed even more today because even when the Bears had all that time of possession on offense in the first half, this is the fucking result that you saw. So the whole argument of, well, you know what, the Bears offense can do more. They did today, and look what the fuck happened. So sit down and shut the fuck up. It's fire sale time. Fire everybody. Trade everybody. Even though nobody's really tradable on this fucking team because Ryan Pace is a fucking moron. Let's hope to God we see more positive developments like this out of Justin Fields the rest of the year. The unfortunate problem is, as you know, come next week, he's probably going to be stuck under Matt Nagy again. So Justin, young man, good job today. You balled out the best you could. My thoughts are with you the rest of the year because you got that numbskull and you know he's going to fuck shit up for you.